It's your boy Jamar back with another video. Back with another banger and Tab reviewing All the Queen's Men Season 5, Episode 5 entitled The Truth of the Matter. And it was a really good episode. Probably one of the best episodes of the season so far. Because the season hasn't really been giving me much, but this episode gave me something. So let's get back into it. So the episode starts off with Babyface's son. I keep forgetting his name, but Babyface's son giving Tandy giving him money to keep quiet on, the situation and this and that and third. And she basically says, I'm gonna need you to talk to the Detective Davis and tell her that you were with me this night and this and that and third, and I'll give you the rest of the money soon. So then Midnight comes home and sees that his place has been messed around with, but he kind of brushes it under the table, but he knows something's up and not right. So then meanwhile, it's revealed that Rayshawn has actually been murdered by the police, and when Babyface's son was talking to Tandy, she was basically like, well, he should never stole my credit card. So basically, he's feeling guilty because he's like, damn, because I gave him that credit card to use, and then she ends up calling the police on him. And that's what got him murdered. So they end up protesting, and Madam is sticking up for him, which I was surprised. I'm like, okay, Madam, she actually cares. So yeah, they're basically protesting, saying say Rayshawn's name and this and that and third. So Dime is out eating at Maddie B's, and Tony comes up to her excited about the baby and stuff. And then Dime is just feeling some type of way because she's like, well, why would you even tell her to Am? Like, she didn't want nobody to know or whatever. And, so she just basically feeling some type of way. And then later on in the episode, Am meets up with an old friend to buy some rings. So I'm assuming that he's trying to propose to Dime. But little do he know, child, that baby might not even be his. So then Doc runs into Naima, and basically Naima says that even though she didn't want to, Detective Davis made her take down all the posts, and he checks, and he sees that she actually did take down all the posts, and he later calls Detective Davis to give her some flowers to thank her for it, and they end up kissing. So yeah. So then Madam confronts Tandy about Rayshawn, basically saying that Rayshawn needs a street on his name and he needs justice and this and that and the third. And she wants the name of the police officer who shot Rayshawn. And Tandy is trying to act difficult at first, but of course she agrees to it because it's Madam Dub. So then Tommy and Dime are trying to Tommy and Blue are trying to find out who shot Madam. So they end up going to Maddie B's and investigating one of the ballet parkers, and she ends up holding a freaking wire to his neck and basically trying to force him to reveal what happened. But before he can, he ends up getting a gun and killing himself in Tommy's car, and Tommy's upset that his car is all blooded up and whatever. So then El Fuego and Midnight are doing this virtual reality thing of women, sleeping with Midnight. Women sleeping with Midnight, and it's like a virtual reality of them feeling how to sleep with Midnight. I don't know, some weird stuff. I don't really care. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant. I guess they just need to give El Fuego a storyline because he don't have one. He's like the most irrelevant character right now. So they need to give him a storyline, and I guess that's his little storyline. So I guess. Then Babyface's son ends up bringing a girl over Miss Tandy's house, and he sleeps with her for money. And basically, Miss Tandy calls him and asks him to speak to Detective Davis. And he's like, listen, that's going to be another $20,000 if you want me to go sleep with her, or I'm just going to go ahead and tell him because I didn't sign up for all this. And I don't even understand why Miss Tandy's letting him blackmail her like that. It's kind of sad because it's like, Miss Tandy, you don't even know for sure if you shot Madam or not. And I don't think she shot Madam. No shade. So then Madam and Smoke go to talk to this elderly couple to buy their farm because I guess, they're selling their farm and Madam wants to buy it. So, she ends up buying the farm and this and that and the third. And then Tommy ends up catching Carla asleep with one of the valet parkers. And Tommy and Blue said that they're going to ask that man Ned. So then Babyface talks to his new sugar mama that he met, and she's basically trying to convince him to invest in his money and, actually build his money instead of just splurging. And she's like, you'd rather build your money than try to be broke than trying to look rich. So he ends up agreeing, and, she ends up giving him advice on how to do that. Meanwhile, Babyface and his son end up bonding when they're rehearsing for their little father-son duo, and they end up having a little bonding moment. So then the episode ends with Tommy and Blue telling Madam that they had a suspect but they lost him, and then basically Madam starts crashing out saying, if y'all don't find out who shot me, I'm gonna have to think that y'all has something to do with it, and she holds a knife to Blue's throat, and that's how the episode ends. So it was an intense episode. It's starting to heat up, and I think it's really starting to get good. So that was the end of this episode, and I'll see you guys next week for episode 6 of All the Queen's Men.